Hello, good morning, good morning. I'm so sorry for that. There seems to have been some technical hitches. It's been a while, so I do apologise. I don't know what was going on. Saying post and story, all I had to do was obviously press a button. So yeah, hopefully everyone is well. Really good here, really busy, getting ready for our event on Sunday the 23rd, and then we have 3 more events after that. So our big Christmas market, a guild at Dorking Halls, and then we've got an event at Bourne Valley, which is an evening on the 1st of December, late night shopping, and then Gilding's Barn on the 11th of December. So anyway, hello to everyone, and let's get started. And sorry for the delay. This should be called 10 at 10 past 10. No, not 10 at 10. So see so many people on here this morning. I put a bright top on just to brighten the day because it's all horrible and away raining. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? You all right?
I'm fine, thank you. Are
Yeah.
you okay after the technical glitch?
Yeah, it was really weird. It came up with like post and story, and I was like, "What's that?" And all I had to do was press the button. But when you have a it's like riding a bike, isn't it? You get back on it, but it's been a while since I've done some live. So yeah. So anyway, here we are. Here we are. So please introduce yourself and tell us about Pedddle.
Fab. Well, hi everyone. I'm Nikki. Thank you so much for inviting me to come on here today at 10 at 10. I've set up Pedddle. Basically set it up because I was a customer at markets, couldn't find them, got increasingly frustrated that I kept missing markets and events because I wasn't actually on Instagram when I sort of started this, and
Yeah.
find out that's where you see lots of them, and I didn't really get on with Facebook too well. So anyway, long story short, I started creating as a bit of a hobby, had no idea about websites or anything like that, and then it's just grown from there. And as I was going, my developer and my designer were both stall holders, so we kind of came together, sort of joined forces collectively, and they came at it from a stall holder perspective, I came at it as a customer, and then got lots of feedback from market organisers as well, so it sort of hopefully serves everybody.
Excellent, excellent. No, I love it. I mean, and it's having a platform for not just markets, but also stallholders as well, which there isn't many out there that do what you do, is there? So, but still, they're still going as such. There are some that aren't here anymore. So, yeah. And how did you, as well, because I think you've answered that, the second question, why did you set up Pedddle, which answers all of that. But how did you come up with your business name, which is always quite a funny kind of story, isn't it?
So my business name originally was My Artisan Markets, and when this was just, I thought it could switch to My Christmas Markets, and switch it in, which I really liked that concept. And as I started to go out and interact with stallholders and things, what I found is people would always go, "Oh, right, where are your markets?" And then I had to explain that I didn't run markets and that. So we started to realise that that name didn't work. And then my designer, so I sort of aired that I was concerned about it. And my designer just sort of one day came back to me with the word Pedddle, and instantly fell in love with it, because my granny and granddad would always talk about peddlers and like those peddling the wares and things like that. So
Yeah.
it's a very sort of old term. Some people might not have ever heard of like peddling your wares, I don't know. And I
Yeah.
love the fact that the markets are old, like markets are within our heritage and culture. And but they're reinvented now. Like markets are different now from how they used to be when we used to go. So the fact that this name is Pedddle, it's an old name, but we've kind of reinvented it. It's got 3Ds in it. I don't know if people saw that, which kind of
Yeah.
covers the 3 parts of our community, the stalls, the customers and the organisers. And yeah, so that's where it came from, and I love it. And now since then, creating Trestle being a trestle table, it's all virtual, and that has an extra letter in it as well, so we're kind of running with that theme.
And it's really good, actually, because we're having a brand name, isn't it? We talk about this a lot on 10 at 10, and with the jewelers, they'll put their name to their jewelry and things like that. But and sometimes I find it kind of looking for people's businesses, and like with yours, I always say to people, have you heard of Pedddle? And if they haven't, it's Pedddle with 3Ds, and you remember it. It's a really just that catchy little thing. So if you are setting up a business name, try to think of something that's going to catch people and remember. Just the other day, I was actually travelling back from the Isle of Wight, and I tagged somebody wrong, and I did it 3 times. But the reason I did it is because the names and what they were very much the same of what they were. So it kind of like, and I think I might have been a bit hungover coming home. So, but it was that kind of, I just typed in what it was, and you know, just those 3 names. So it is just having something that is about you, isn't it? Which is really important.
It
really.
is. One thing we wanted to do with the word pedal and the word trestle, it doesn't necessarily pin us down to something. And we often say this to stallholders starting out, like if they're doing it about art and their work is art, then that's fine. But if, you know, if they give a name, they put a business name where it's got the word so in it, and they want to diversify, then they can't diversify. So keeping a name sort of short and snappy, really, it does help.
Yeah, definitely. And it's all those bits of remembering you, isn't it? It's very, very easy to forget somebody, but if you've got this catchy name, why are they called that? And it gets you kind of wanting to know a bit more about them as well. What does Pedddle offer to those who join? Obviously, the market organisers, stallholders, and obviously the market visitors. What does Pedddle offer, would you say?
There's so many things here because we're all 3 now. Right, so let's start as market organisers. So market organisers can join and list their markets, and they can list under one venue, one store page. They can list as many markets as they have, dates that they have. If you're a stallholder, you have your own business listing, which we call a stall page, because we kind of really want to make it about markets and community. So they have their stall page, which is a business listing. And this is our USP, really, that no one else does, is they can virtually check in at their markets. So this makes them more visible, because whenever a customer drops on a market page, they can scroll down, they can see who's going to be at the next market. But also, and this was my thing, this is why I did this, was I could see who had been there in the past 6 months. And because, you know, you always remember where you've been as a customer, but you don't always remember the stallholder that you were chatting to, or what the store was that you picked something up, even if you didn't chat to them. Or I grab a card, I put it in my bag, and then it would like get all gnawed up with something at the bottom of the bag. Really gross. And so, yeah, that was the thing, and that's the thing that we do different from anybody else who just lists events. And that helps the stallholder because they're visible on that market page for 6 months, but it also helps the market because when they check in, that market appears on the stall page. But beyond that, for stallholders, we do lots of support in the background. We have monthly themes. We had a lovely meet and make yesterday where we talked about loads of things that were really relevant. I was like, oh, lots of people going, oh, I didn't know that, and that was good. We're just about to start a buddy scheme where it's sort of like accountability partners. So we're just facilitating lots of things and lots of opportunities for stallholders to be the best stallholder they can be. For market organisers, though, we've got a Facebook group now, and we sort of really try and support them, because I think it's really important that we support the market organisers, because they are on their own generally and can't necessarily always sort of go down and start, you know, letting out how they're feeling to their stallholders. They can't, you know, they've got to remain professional like that. So that was really nice, and we've done I've supported them on a SEO, and we've had like kind of like a meet session, but without the meet. Justine Louise said, I love the meet and meet. Yeah, they're really good. Oh, and customers. So now customers can join. Let me just get something if I've got one of these on here. Customers can join and just register there. It's that simple. It's just an email address, password. But then what they can do is they go around to the markets. They can scan the QR codes and just save that business straight to their dashboard. So it's dead quick. If you want to remember who they are, you don't want to lose, like, well, it's better because it's eco-friendly. So you just scan it. And then they can favourite that stall. They can grab a market day offer if that stall holder is given one. Again, we don't push for that. It's just if they want to. And then they can also share their email address with that stall holder. So it's just sort of almost like supporting in lots of different ways. But this is brand new. This only came out this year. And so we're still working on our customers joining us.
No, it's brilliant. Obviously, what you said there with myself as well, being a market host. I've joined as well, but also as Dapper Suave. So, there are, Facebook group pages, there are Instagram, and it's really great because, sometimes people can be asking it might seem the most silliest question, but actually some of them, and it's the advice they give. And, the other day it was somebody about doing, an outdoor event and lighting and how they light it and just silly things like that, as a stallholder with experience that you could say, oh, what about this? And, giving ideas, which I love. And, I've just as well, with Louise said, the meet and make, that's something that, I didn't join the one yesterday, but actually as well, looking next year is getting maybe some of the people that are artists that together as well. Because I think being a small business owner at home on your own, or, as such, it's really great to get out there and talk to other people. And what I love about Pedddle is they're not just there. They are just there, if that makes sense. You're there to help and guide. And, I've been on some of your, and I've learned some information and some of that I want to then put through to other people. Like, for instance, I think it's really important to have maybe some top tips for people that join our event of, what we kind of expect from them to help them, because, it's always great. Like, I think one of the last things was, and I'll say it, I walked into the room and there were 3 businesses that were together, but they were off chatting to other people. And, part of me was like, oh, come on, you walk in as a customer, where are they? But 3 of them all next to each other, that's kind of like, okay. But then if you want those opportunities to chat, whatever, then let's have those opportunities before a market. Let's, if that's the case, that we can actually do that, which is quite important, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's good. Just going to look, because Phil said he's looking forward to doing his first market at Romsey. That's one of our featured markets this weekend, which is ace. Obviously, you've got your market this weekend as well, your pop-up, haven't you?
Yes,
which is exciting.
We've got, and I say a great thing with Pedddle is, that we have some stallholders who are Pedddle members, so straight away it's great because you can go onto our market this weekend, you can see who's there. You can also, with myself, I can like all the stallholders that are part of that. So it all kind of like, if that was the case, that somebody comes along, they can then go on to Pedddle to then find that business. And, I've just done this morning, guys, make sure you're on Pedddle because, if you're coming to our event, you can see the Pedddle members as well. And it's great because I know straight away that with yourself, you've done that work for me. You've done the kind of vetting of them, because you don't just have anyone join as such, do you?
No, it is a curated platform. It is.
Yes.
But yeah, I think, I don't know. I also think it's really important for customers not necessarily to feel the pressure. The pressure, markets are great because they're time bound. So when you go as a customer, you're like, right, okay, if I don't get this now, then I could lose it because I don't know where that person, being, the nature of a stallholder, they're very mobile and all over. So if that stallholder is not really visible online or really clear where they're going to be next, it makes it really hard for us customers. So in some ways, that's really great. Time bound, bit of pressure there, it helps to get the sale. But if they are just teetering on the edge and they choose to walk away, it's like, how do you make it easier for them afterwards to be able to go, do you know what, I did really want that thing, but I want to now find out how I can get hold of them. And just being able to click back on a market page, it's just like, it's simple, it just makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I know for a fact, even after our events, we get inundated sometimes by people, oh, I bought such and such, I didn't get a business card. And, that way we can forward that on. And we have our own directory, which is sort of small, but, it's almost as well, isn't it? If they are a Pedddle member, it might come through that. Or I remember them being, they had a yellow board there, it was a Pedddle, and then they can find them via them being on our event. So it all helps. It helps everyone as well, doesn't it? Which is great. So, how can you apply to be part of Pedddle? How does one go about that?
Well, as basically we have a join us button, so you can click on it. Markets can join anytime, customers can join anytime. Stallholders, we just shut it down for a little bit, but it will open again shortly. So they've just got to join the wait list. The good thing about that is they get to hear information about what it is we do exactly, but also gives them opportunity to tell me who they are and what they do. So one of the emails that they'll get sort of says, tell me about you. And I sort of point out that I am the worst customer. I am that person that gets sidetracked or can't make a decision or whatever. So yeah, they just click the join us button at the top, and there's the different options, and stallholder customer and market organizer.
Excellent, excellent. And it is really as well, isn't it, of giving that information as well when people are starting out, of people to selling their brand. And we know that as some people are absolutely brilliant when it comes to it. So it's nice that you're able to give those tools. And even like when I say to people about clicking into our markets via, if they're a stallholder, there's a little video of you that I send to them. So, which is really good, because, it's really good that you give all the tools, that they're there. So when you do join Pedddle, please look at everything that, Pedddle offers, because there's some really, really great top tips, videos that I've shared that I kind of go, yeah, we're singing from the same hymn sheet. We know exactly. And I think as well, because you as well are a customer who comes to the event, so you know what you want. And you want to walk into a room, you want to be wowed, you want to see amazing tables set up, you want to see things that you've never seen before. And as you were saying earlier, I love the fact that you can come along to our events, and some of this stuff is like bespoke, some of it is one-off. So if you like it, it's not like going to a shop and they've got 100 of them. They might only have that one-off, which isn't it great to have something that nobody else has actually got?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think you kind of like that, isn't it? You might have some jewelry on and go, yeah, I'm the only one wearing this, or it's bespoke to you, and it makes you that person that you are.
This one, that made by one of our makers, Mermaids and Dinosaurs, and that I wear all the time. And yeah, jewelry. I love jewelry. I'm an absolute jewelry. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we have a lot of sale. There's a lot of jewelers that we have on our events, and we know we've had to kind of bring it back a little bit, just because that whole, as we say, we are curated, of not having 10 silver jewelers. We'll have one or two, and then other ones, because we know as customers we all like different things as well. So I mean, even with our October event, we've got 15 brand new people joining us for this event as well, which is really exciting. And some of them are brand new. The other day there was, how do I set up, very flat of what they do with jewelry, and I gave them lots and lots of top tips. I think they were like, wow. But what I want them to do well, because if they do well, it shines on us as Curated, and as a customer, they've bought from them, and we've given them advice before, during and after. If they want feedback, we can give feedback if they haven't done so well, but we don't bang on to them. If they want to know, I think sometimes they know, oh God, I was too busy chatting to the stallholder and I might have missed that sale. But it's them to learn as such, isn't it? So what do you think makes a great market?
So I would say like variety. How you just mentioned that. Yeah. Variety is really good. Personally, I love all of my senses to be like stimulated. So I love like the music on and the sound of the chatter of markets. I love that kind of thing. I mean, markets also, just before I go through my list, very personal. People like them for different reasons. So people just like the food markets, and some people just like the craft markets. I do love a blended market like that. I love the food, the music, the craft. I love things that I can touch. I love homey things, because I do like kitting my home out. So bits of vintage stuff like that. Do you know, every time I go into market, it's always something different that I get from it. I love the chatter that you have with the stallholders. I think that's really nice, and that's what sets a purchasing situation different to just going into a shop and just buying something. You can have that conversation, you can really engage, and when you're gifting. I mean, I'm going out to a market this weekend to go and buy some gifts. I don't know if the girls are watching, but one of them's about to have their birthday on Monday, and I was like, I'm going out to a market and get her something. And I think I know the chat that I have makes it a nicer gift, So, yeah, I love variety, and I love I love markets generally.
Yeah, it's really weird. Just saying very quickly, I had a really lovely chat the Surrey Culture Map. They did an interview on me about to be featured, and the lady there was telling me that she'd been following somebody, this scarf, whatever it was, and she went into this really, and this is a lot of money. And she walked into the shop, and the woman was really just rude and whatever. And she was just like, I'm just about to spend a little small fortune. And then she went to, she sort of didn't buy. She went back, and this lady was absolutely amazing, because she started a conversation about the designer and why she liked it to the other lady, and it was just like, but this other lady was just like enthusiastic, and she said it was just, she was showing me other things, and that she said it wasn't necessarily anymore about what I bought; it was about the experience that I had, and I just thought, as people, we all enjoy that, don't we? That whole, I bought something, but that person, a little bit about them, a bit about what they like and why they've made that item. So, yeah. Yeah. Excellent. So what tips, I say, can you give to stall holders? And this, it's sometimes it's personal. You see some stall holders, they're absolutely amazing at what they do. And then there's this other ones that are just that, and that's where I'm trying now, just to give them those tips.
Yeah, so I think we'll definitely bring you to the market. So there's so many different points where I can give tips to stall holders, but we're just going to focus on being at a market. So for me, I really like to see a stall that's got clear branding. Sorry, my developer is just pinging me. Clear branding. I love to see a logo. So I don't know if can you see behind? I've got that's acrylic sign, but basically it says. But I like it. I hide something really grabbing where you can see it. I find it quite shocking when stall holders don't have any branding for their stall, and I think that would be a massive tip. See it a lot, and as a customer I'm a bit like, who are you? How am I ever going to find you again? And does it affect my trust with that business? Potentially, because I think, well, if they don't want to be really clear about who they are at a market, how am I ever going to find them again? How am I going to, if I purchase from them, am I going to trust? So for trust issues, I really do think a really nice clear logo, and it doesn't need to have all your handles and all your email addresses and everything on it, just logo would be really nice. And I height. Tell people where you're selling. So if you are going to go to a market, if you have an email list, tell them on the email list, and maybe put in some CTAs, so call to actions there for people to shop from your online store in case they can't get out. But those people that follow you might have seen you at another market, so they might be local to you and might want to come out. So tell them clearly. And then on social media, the amount of times I see people, I'm here, I'm set up at my market, and it's like, that's ace, but where are you in the world?
Yeah, where are you?
It's not hard just to put, I'm here, I'm set up at the location, the market name, tag the organizer, and put the postcode and the times, like just dead simple stuff. Always think height on a stall, bit of interest, that's really good. I like to see that it looks sort of varied, and maybe some props as well. So like it's Halloween coming up. I love these, because they're dead light as well. So I just got some of these. These are just dead cute, and you can just put them around on your stall. And then some way to capture emails and contacts. I think having that contact with people after a market just totally makes sense. So yeah, I would definitely make sure I'm capturing people's email addresses, and that's even if you've not written a single email yet and you're like, I know I need to do it, but I can't bring myself to do it, or I don't know what to write or something. You can deal with the content later on. Just make sure you keep catching those email addresses, because I think that's what will help you down the line to build your audience. You'll have more people to tell where you're going to be and more people to bring out to markets. And if every stall holder did that and was really clear about where they were going to be and sending out email addresses, can you imagine how many more people could capture and pull? I think, so there's 4. I could go on, but there's my 4 top tips.
And it's so important. I mean, I've been to other market, not necessarily ours, and the footfall, whatever. And, I'll go and look on Instagram. Why haven't you said you're here? Because it could just be those couple of customers that, the reason that we use Instagram or whatever, it's to get more sales, is to get people to know about you, isn't it? So as well, it's very important. And as well, what you've said, I mean, I remember one time seeing a jeweler, amazing jewellery, but who is she? You know, and it's that bit, isn't it? And also another thing is as well is look at. I've always said as well, if you were to come to one of our events and I said, look, I'll take 10 people out of the room, and you have to tell me what stall holders there are, you know, what stall there's at, and also look at those things where could you have something that you're wearing, you know, an apron, a badge, a cap, or something that's bringing that business into there. We're quite lucky as Dapper and Suave because when we turn up at an event, we're usually dressed to the nines. So it's you're Dapper and Suave. We're known as pretty much most people know us as Dapper and Suave instead of Rob and Jason, which is it's funny. And you know we get that which one of you is Dapper and Suave? It's both of us, but it's also
that. Who's the Dapper and who's the Suave? Are you like Ant and Dec and one of you always has to stand on one
like
side?
That, yeah. It is, and even when we go for a photo, one time my old boss had messaged me saying you're on the wrong side. And it was even when Rob goes to a photo, you're on the wrong side. It's just hilarious. So, you know, but it is that bit of just that bit of somebody remembering you and that you're part of that event instead of, you know, kind of being at the side and I'm not really attached to this. Be part of that, you know, and also as well as I think we kind of bang on about, you go shopping in the town centre and there's shops that you straight away go to that you like. And it's exactly the same thing as a stall holder. It will bring people back because they remember you and your brand. We know all these colours and the things that they do and, you know, to get you to shop, isn't it? And it's the same kind of thing. So there we go. There we go. Sarah, I always wear one of my really big statement pieces is something super colourful, which is brilliant because that if you're selling your jewelry, I take it it's jewellery, statement pieces, then, you know, that's it. Straight away, I love your jewellery. Oh, there we go. I make it, and it's.
In fact, just to jump in because Dakota Ray Dust just joined, and her work as well as Sarah's, both of them. In fact, Sarah's, I'm going to have my Christmas earrings on very soon. I feel like I just need to get into November before I put them on. But
yes.
Dakota Ray Dust, she always has an obvious brand and obvious style with her work, and I'm sure I was watching something on TV the other day and I was like, they are Dakota Ray Dust earrings for sure, and that's what you want as a stall holder. That's where you want to get to, where people can go, right, that's her piece, that's his, you know what I mean? And I think, you know, if you have really clear branding, so and a really beautiful stall that is very much within your sort of brand and your theme throughout your socials and everything, people will know and remember, and that's how people build up trust, and that's how you get those repeat buyers or those even yes, it was the repair shop. I knew it was. I was like, I know it says, and I was flicking down to have a look on your social media. Who was it? Do you know who it was that was wearing them? I'm just asking her. Sorry.
No,
I want to know. Felt like I recognised the lady, but I didn't. I missed her name. But I don't know whether it's you because I've only seen her once when I was in London at a market. So anyway, yeah. So they were my tips anyway.
Yeah, and isn't it that it's straight away that you remember, and I know as well people on, you know, socials, and you see it on telly and like, oh wow, they're there, you know. And it's, you know, with us as Dapper Suave, you know that we love our fabrics, you know, and we're just actually to be featured. It was Emma from Steel and Stitch, there we go. You know, we're just about to be featured in the Surrey and Sussex wedding, which is really exciting, and you can see, I think when you look at it, yeah, that style is us, hopefully, because it, you know, the cravats, which is exciting. So there, Emma from Steel and Stitch, there we go. So yeah, excellent. Now, some good tips there, and it's just remembering you, isn't it, as well? And there are, you know, brandings and different things out there. It's nothing worse to do an event and afterwards think, oh, I wish I'd done that. And, you know, if it's going to get customers to remember you, go for it, I say. So we have an ethos about customer service, about being friendly, creative and unique. Have you an ethos of saying something that inspires you?
Well, when I saw this question, I was like, I love positive affirmations. I'm an absolute absorber of all of this kind of stuff. So I had a really big think about this. I don't have one really that we bash out all the time, but one that I really sort of sits with me and I keep bringing it up is a candle loses nothing by lighting another. I love that because that's been my whole life, really. I've taught for years, and now I'm in this situation where I'm constantly helping other people to be the best they can be. And I honestly think, I feel like I light up when I see people be better or grow their business or do something that really makes them happy that they've achieved something. And so that would be my ethos, that I just is my go-to. I think I really like that one. But basically any positive affirmations.
Yeah.
I'll be listening to podcasts and I'll just hear things. And another one I love is, it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to do something about it and make a change. And right now I feel like at the moment, a lot of what's happening to small businesses, it's not their fault, and they're having a really tough time, and I genuinely feel for all of them, and it is affecting us as well, but it is our responsibility on how we then move forward and how we then make ourselves more visible. And how we work with one another and how we support one another and how we lift one another up. And I think community right now is like the best thing. This is what we need. And, I love chatting to you, Jay, chatting to everybody. I just love chatting, basically.
Yeah.
But it's important, and we all learn from one another. And I think that's, there's always something to be learned and taken away from every day. So,
definitely. I love that. That's really true. And it kind of, what you've just said there really hits on kind of with us as well. I think it's kind of in the last 2 years things have happened, and I'm now in a position to have this as my career. And both of Rob, he's lecturer at London College of Fashion, but we can both give back, and it's really great. He's actually having a reunion today with people from Debenham, so oh my god, imagine what that's going to be like. But it's really great that we can use what we've learned to help other small businesses. And from anything, that is what we're about. When you come to our events, I'm trying to offer something different. It's not a craft fair. Everyone knows I hate the word fair. It's just personally, to me, I like the word market. I like to be a little bit contemporary, a bit out there, and showing those kind of old-fashioned kind of crafts are now really modern, and people have taken it, and that's what I want. And I know that Fat Cat's just come on with her crochet, and she's amazing what she does, but it's that kind of looking and take it into the modern world. And I think that's really important. And I joined Pedddle as a maker not long ago, and I attended a Zoom meetup yesterday and felt very welcome. Support in the centre community is really heartwarming. Which is great, isn't it? That's and it makes you feel warm and fuzzy when you get comments like that. And we get lots of comments of what we're doing, and we are there to help small businesses. And I can't bang on about enough. Any advice you want, I want you to do well and with it. So I'm talking to Jess later, actually. So there we go.
Jess was also on the call.
It's really great, because I say there's, even, we're in a position now where we sent our availability out for next year. And believe it or not, we've got booking forms coming in for next year. We've got an event already full, which I just think, oh my God, that's crazy. And, with a lot of people, where the way is at the moment, we're saying, if you can't pay now, let us know when you can pay, and all of that. We're there to help them. Just tick the form. And if it's paying in July next year, fine. We want we want the best businesses on board, and we understand what's going on, but we're here as a community to help everyone, which I think is really good, isn't it? To make that warm fuzzy feeling you get, which is great. Who would you say is your support network?
Oh my gosh, family and friends for sure. Like, my family have been amazing. Taking the leap from my previous job into this job was a big thing, and I've frozen now. And my family sort of really supported me on that, which was brilliant. My friends, because not always do your friends know exactly what you're doing and how you can progress, but I've had some really great ideas actually come from my friends. In fact, this pedal board was from one of my friends. So that's been ace. And in terms of who I have met on Instagram, I would genuinely consider some of them my friends now. From I think, even just, talking about that meet and make session, we all get on and we all get it, and we're all in the same place, So I take so much support from the people that I've got around us and within our community. So I can't pin it down to any particular people. Like some of
Yeah.
I've not ever, like Jess. I've never met Jess before, but like I know that I could just drop her a message, and we do DM one another occasionally. And it's like, you know, I would, if I was near her, she'd probably be one of my friends. You know, like as a face to face, go out for coffee. But yeah, lots of people are on Instagram, and they are so supportive, and they're great platform.
It's great, isn't it? Because, you know, social media and the way that, you know, it's perceived, and, you know, it can be perceived wrongly, but it's the way that you can use it to build relationships, friendships. You know, the other day we were in Spitalfields talking to one of our, you know, one of the girls that does one of our events, and next to us was somebody that had just inquired about working with us, and she, oh, you're Dapper Suave, and it was really nice of that, you know. And you see people around, or you go to an event and you probably do it, oh god, there's such and such there, which is really exciting, which is really great. And also which is lovely, I mean, I am an ambassador for Pedddle as well, so you know, and we have a little group, and we're out there trying, our little team of ambassadors, just trying to get the word out there, so about Pedddle, so when people come to our events, just telling them a little bit more, and when we've got people that are events, you know, have Pedddle members as well, they can go and, you know, scan it all in as well. So if we can have more Pedddle members, it's great. So, you know, there are a few, and I know as well, if anyone does want to join, just let me know. I have a special code as well, which is great. You know, I don't give it to everyone. So the last, there we go, love from India, there we go, love from India, there we go, worldwide. I love it, excellent. Really great, some amazing people popping up on here, a lot of people I know of, and obviously with you know, with Pedddle as well. So last question, what vision does Pedddle have for the future?
So many, but ultimately I think I really would love to just see Pedddle being recognised up and down the whole of the UK as the place to go to sort of find independent and creative markets and stallholders. I think that was my vision at the start, and that remains my vision now, because it's such a big job to try and tell people what it is or where the markets are, and just having that one collective place where we can all centrally be. That was my idea at the start, and it remains so now. I mean, if I wanted to sort of go beyond that, I would love to see more hybrid markets, because I know certain people can't get out to markets all of the time and they can't experience that. So I would love to see, and I don't know whether it's pie in the sky or not, but potentially sort of live streaming markets and having the people there online. So if you can't physically get out, Sarah, who came before, she's only just going to do one of her first markets in ages because of COVID and everything, and various health issues she's got, so she can't actually get out to the markets. And there's so many people out there that are just like her, so potentially that could be something as well, the idea of sort of live streaming a market and seeing what's out there, and then being able to connect with stallholders. It could happen one day, but I don't ever want to take away from going to markets, because that is the best thing, but there's always those that can't get out. So potentially hybrid markets, but just people, if people talk about markets, I'd love, one thing I'd love is just to overhear somebody on the train, because I often jump on the train going to markets. I'd love to hear somebody going, oh, are there any markets in like town where we go in this weekend? Let me just check Pedddle. I think that moment I'd just be like, oh, funny. It's one person, I don't care. But you know, the website itself is so busy right now. Like, we're 40% up on this time last year on traffic to the website. So people are looking for markets and things, and we're just about to put a pop-up on the website, just developing it at the moment, just to say, like, tell me, are you a customer or are you a stallholder or organizer? I just want to see what the blend is of people visiting. But yeah, we want the best for this community, and we want to see it thrive and survive what's about to happen, because my goodness, and we're not going to go politics, but they're doing a really great job of making the mess. So we've got to keep going and stay together. So hopefully we can ride out the rest of this year and next year, because that could still be affected as well.
Definitely. And it's really lovely what you said there as well. We're quite lucky because we have, you know, a database of people. So sometimes we can go off and do other things, not necessarily with a market, but we can use those businesses to put them in other other kind of places that might not be necessarily a market. I'd love to see more and more
Yeah.
options given to small businesses. Yeah, and you know, exactly with that, retail stores and bits, and you know, even you know, I'm working on something next year with Dorking Halls, bringing the art that we have in the cafe and bar area, and having some little pop-up art exhibitions throughout the year. And we're just, that'll be happening when we can use the space when there aren't necessarily things. But how cool is that? Just so that you can come along, meet the people that you know, sell their artwork, etc., which is great.
Yeah.
Another thing I have to say,
going back to, oh, sorry, it's a bit of a delay then. I was just going to go back to getting small businesses into retail stores. I think that's a brilliant idea. Like, there's lots of companies doing that at the moment, and it's nice to see that they're opening their arms and sort of bringing them in, and I hope that we can see more of that, more independent shops on the high street as well, which, yeah. And then Silver by the Button says, I always use the website when I visit different areas for events. Yay, thank you. That's good.
And Emma's a really good friend of mine. I've known her since I was about 18. So she's back, Silver by the Button, back in November, which is really exciting. And she's had some time off due to things as well. Another thing that I think is really lovely as well, and Emma, she knows it as well. The hashtag I stole from her, which is I can use it, is community, not competition. And I love that. And what's really great with Pedddle, which probably Nicki doesn't realise, it's given me the opportunity to talk to other markets as well. And I think that helps me, you know, because sometimes it can feel quite lonely. You're kind of like, you know, all of this coming at you, and I can go back to other markets. How's your market and all of that? And that's something that I really want to do with this, is to start do some 10 at 10s with other markets and just, you know, asking them questions and bits, because, you know, as well, you know, we've got stallholders who might want to go and do their events. They might want to go to Bristol, or they might want to go into London or whatever. So it's giving more opportunities for other people, because, you know, I know as well, we're not doing our events in Dorking Halls next year till September. It doesn't mean I'm sat here doing nothing till September. There's lots going on, but other opportunities that we can give to other stallholders for other markets as well. So I thank you for that. So cool. I think that's probably all of it. Have you got anything else to add at all, or?
No, thank you for giving me the opportunity to chat to you. It's lovely, Jason, to chat to you, and it's lovely been Ace working with you this year, and thank you for being an ambassador and supporting us.
Yeah, and it's great because me and Nicki sometimes will have a Zoom chat, and it's really nice. And, you know, I don't think you realise the support that you're giving me. I can go away and go, wow, you know, there is somebody listening, there is somebody that's understanding what it's all about, and just giving those little top tips that, and I can, you know, move on, you know, give to other people as well, which is really important. And one day we will meet in person one day. Yeah. It's for about 2 years now, isn't it? Sort of just when, you know, when we joined. So, but, you know, we'll try and find out if there's a market in London or something, and we will meet. It'll be, but it'll be crazy.
I do need, just in case anybody's thinking of creating it, I do need some kind of tele-transporter thing where I can just, you know, zoom in to certain markets, because I want to be able to get everywhere and I can't.
Yeah, exactly. Because where you're based in? Oh,
in Staffs.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a bit of a trek, isn't it, as such? Right. Oh, anyway, really, really lovely to chat to you. And we'll pop this onto our YouTube and LinkedIn and everything else as well. Anyone as well, if you want to find out more about myself, you can look on my thing as well. We're still looking, you know, next year, if anyone wants to join us, we go through a bit of a thing, chat to people. It's very important. Come along to our events, come and say hello. It's not just at the moment about, I want to do your event. Who are you? What, you know, it's really important for us. I had somebody even last night saying, do you do markets? I'm like, well, if you don't know what we do, then why are you, you know, messaging? It's kind of like, but, you know, come along, see what we're about. And if we're right for you, you know, because there might be opportunity to add more people on as well. Excellent. I'm going to shut up now and get on with the rest of my day. Really, really great to speak to you. And I will, well, see you like this and maybe see you in person one day.
Hopefully.
You take care.
Have you seen?
She is just as lovely in real life. Oh, that's lovely.
But I'm shorter than anybody ever expects, so I'll just put...
I had that. You know, when I started the 10 at 10s, there were so many people and they'd arrive, go, oh my God. I'm like, you're really smaller because you don't see the people. It's really funny, isn't it? And then
Oh,
you're
yeah.
taller. It's quite funny. So yeah,
Ace.
it hides a lot of things, doesn't it?
It does, it does. Right, I'm gonna let
Take
you go.
care.
Oh,
All right,
thanks,
bye
Jason.
bye.
Thanks everyone
Bye
for joining.
bye.
Bye.